Hello, welcome to Gutter Stars, episode 4. No title as yet, because I don't know what stupid things people are going to get up to next. This is a stream of Spelljammer, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. It's a second edition game where me and some of my friends play D&D. So, what happened last time? Tom, do you want to give us a minute-long summary of what happened last time on the stream?
Yes, although I will have to ask somebody with the actual journal to help me out with the names. But we infiltrated, well, not so much infiltrated. We wandered into a party at a noble's house whose bashes are renowned to go on all day and all night, essentially. It's the peak of hedonistic decadence. That, however, was only after we had failed to sneak into a warehouse down by the docks, thinking that we might know where... we might be able to find where the child might have disappeared to in the docks, or at least we were hoping that we might find them there rather than them end up on a ship and leaving the Rock of Bral, which would make it very difficult for us to find them. But we've been given a kind of like letter which said, oh, you can go, you're on the business of the Temple of Ptah, which should, get you some access to the noble houses. But we just walked into this party. Nobody challenged us. There was plenty of revelry going on, and we split up and did some investigations. Stype, my character, went down into the kitchens to talk to the servants about what might have happened, and they mentioned the chain.
I've got this in front of me, but
The chain men.
Chain men. Yes, I was
men.
thinking chain gang, but not quite. But yeah, mentioned the chain men have taken various children, and they mentioned a guy out near where we live, actually, who lost a boy, and we might be able to speak to him.
I think it was the grandfather who lived near us. I feel like it was called Star. I cannot find it in my notes. I've got many notes.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yes, his name was Star.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the
That's right.
major proceeded to intimidate everyone at the buffet table.
Practically.
And ate a possibly hallucinogenic squid eye. And Phsphl, meanwhile, basically shook down one of the security people at the party for information. The security people were trying to blend in, but not, in Phsphl's opinion, doing a very good job. And so Phsphl pretended he was doing a surprise inspection to get some information out of the guy about what happened with the attack. And I think he gave us a lead as to like who was on duty at that point, like who we might speak to about that. And meanwhile, Flynn had ended up getting friendly with the head of the house himself, the guy throwing the party.
Lord Hestain.
Yeah,
by the way.
Lord Hestain. Yeah, thank you. Who also seemed reasonably intrigued by this disappearance, not necessarily in a morally outraged way, but in the sense of finding it interesting intrigue. And he also mentioned the chain men, and that probably they do have support among the nobles somewhere, and not seemingly from his own perspective as such, but did kind of warn Flynn that if he started turning up rocks, he might find somebody willing to kill him over it. So we've got a few leads. Oh, and another thing that I believe Stype found out was that the gardener at the house of the noblewoman where this ward was taken saw some of what happened, so we might go and speak to them. I believe that's about it.
Yeah, of nearby. Well, I mean, you don't know who the noblewoman is, but yes, it wasn't the noblewoman herself. You don't know who that is necessarily, but at House Eladan, Lady Eladan's gardener, I think it had said they'd seen something. So let's. Do you know what we'll do? Let's switch to your apartment. In fact, that's the street to get. Nope, that's worry you because that's a street scene. Let's go to the building, to your rooms. I think that's where the rooms are. So as you, because I think we left it with more or less you just going home. I think that was where we had put it. Was if I'm right, if my memory serves, anyone want to correct me? But I think you had left the party and gone. Yeah, and so Flynn is actually nowhere to be found the next morning, and I don't actually. That's one thing I need to drop some more tokens on here. Nibbles, Ensign Nibbles is present in rooms, taking up one of the 2 rooms you rent at the Red House boarding house. Sparks is there, having received some repairs from Kronkanks, a contact, NPC contact to the party, and Guild Teamorin, your Invoker, he's trying to sort something out, and he may or may not be able to. He says join you through the day. But shall we very quickly just who is everyone else playing? Including Sparks. Jay, who's your character in one sentence?
I am Phsphl, Lizardman, bounty hunter, struggling to understand this strange world, but doing his best to do his work efficiently.
Yeah. And Phil, who are you playing?
Autognome.
Sorry,
you
Phil, you're
repeat that,
cutting
Phil?
out a
Yeah,
bit.
we didn't catch that.
Yeah. I heard
Here.
Autognome.
So I play Autognome is a guy who is trying to give people searching for him at this moment. All programs in, and he focused on finding.
We got most of that. You might want to just try disconnecting and reconnecting to the Discord channel, Phil.
Check your mic.
Yeah, because we were getting it seems like a connection thing. Like we're getting like some of the words, but not all of them. When it's coming through clearly. It's just got gaps.
Okay,
So Sparks the Autognome, who's a rogue Autognome in the sense that he is not under his master's programming, and he is particularly interested in. He has a programming instruction to protect children, and so he's very interested in finding this young ward. Andrew, who are you playing?
I am playing Major Alphonse Remmington-Smythe, the Giff mercenary, who is an aging hippo man fighter.
Yep. I'll just get up there. I'll just get Sparks up as well. There we go. That's Sparks, the Autognome, and this is Phsphl, the Lizardman bounty hunter. And Tom, who are you playing?
I am playing Stype Sheafstack, a simple halfling peasant cleric devotee of the god Demeter, who's the god of fertility, and I have an ass called Krups and a uppity goat called Faust, who associate with me.
Yep. Yeah, who sometimes, when you've been knocked out, acts as your PC surrogate.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's arguably more dangerous than you are. Okay, so how do you want to proceed in your investigations looking for this little girl, I guess?
Shall we start with the guy, the grandfather of the boy who went missing, because he's quite near where we live, as I understood it. So we could possibly start our investigations there. Don't know what people feel about that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay, could Sparks? Sparks doesn't need to do this, but the others of you do. Could you each roll a D100 for me?
Yes.
Phsphl gets a 70. The Major gets a 31. What about you, Stype?
41.
Yep, great. That's fine. You're nothing further to report. You are allowed to go and do what you like. So yes, what we'll do is we'll switch to our Braille map. Phil, is your sound better, do you think?
How am I sounding to everyone?
Yeah, much better. Much better.
Sounds like
Yeah.
an
It's more
improvement. Yeah.
consistent. Yeah.
So you say this, I cannot hear Phil. This is Discord screwing me around. I will come in and out. Can I hear you?
At the moment, he's not saying anything.
Yeah.
Just so I
You hear me?
confirm that.
I hear you, Phil.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good.
The only thing I would say is
Phil was never speaking.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
should probably roll a D100 myself if I'm going to malfunction.
Oh yeah.
Start of a new day.
Ah, your daily malfunction. Your daily malfunction thing. Yep. Roll your daily malfunction. Is it a 5% chance or something like that?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Yep, great session, guys. Flew up and killed you all.
Laughing, it can't happen yet.
Yeah, great. Yeah. I was going to say, we shouldn't speak too soon. It's something that will happen at some point during the campaign. You're back near the lesser market, which is this this western market on Braille, relatively speaking. That's the lower market underneath you. And then the great market is where Fandar's books is. In fact, he's just outside, but that's the great market. The red house is just in a back street behind this. It's just, you have a, if I recall, a fairly domineering landlady called Gertrude, who is a female gnome, by the way, but not a tinker. Which I don't know if Sparks would react the same to a non-tinker. But yeah, a little rock gnome called Gertrude who runs the red house. Her husband, by repute, is a retired pirate, which does keep the residents in line. And
Does she have
in
any
the
objections to nibbles?
Sorry, what's that, Tom?
Does she have any objections to nibbles?
Yeah. Well, as long as you pay for him and clean after him. The red house is solid. It's kind of clean, but it's not posh. I don't think anyone would pretend. So the lesser market is where Old Man Star's junk stall is, which is directly underneath your counter. So I'll move that off just so it's clear where you're going. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. I guess if you're wanting to go to the low market first, does someone want to roll a D6? Phil, given you escaped rolling any encounters last time, do you want to roll a D6 to see if you have a random encounter in the low city? Okay, no, it's a pretty short walk, so though looking terrified about you for more Yakuza jumping on you or processions that are going to get in your way or dwarves for the major to offend, you manage to, and this time of course you don't have the charm of Flynn Manley. You manage to get to the low market safe and sound, and can probably be pointed by a stall owner toward Old Man Star's junk stall. When you arrive at the stall, you do see that it's got a tarp kind of pulled over the front of it, pulled down to cover each side of it.
But not the front.
No, all of it, as in like it's like I'm trying to think. You do get this with actual market stalls, where they've got like tarps that run down each side. So it has a starburst symbol at the top, with like a kind of stylized depiction of like oddities. It has like there's a Starlock pistol. There's a gem There's some blocks of stone, just like as if he's advertising oddities. Whether or not if he has sold a Starlock pistol, the Major would be surprised. But yeah, a Star Wheel pistol, sorry. But yes, so yeah, you don't immediately see him there.
This seems like the kind of situation that requires someone with tact. Any of you guys have suggestions?
I suppose of all
Stype
of us,
have a charisma bonus?
not a bonus, no. He hasn't got a negative, as far as I know. But yeah, not a bonus, I don't think.
So just
What's Phsphl's charisma?
Charisma's 12.
That's higher than Stype, so.
So average, yeah. Yeah. So, sorry, Phsphl, you were going to say, weren't you?
Does the stall look closed? Is what I mean. Like, does it look like he's absent?
Yeah. I think it looks closed. I mean, you may or may not be surprised by that.
Maybe he's if he's going through this crisis, he may not be running his business.
Can we, well, obviously it's a tarp, so we can't, actually knock, but you know what I mean. Can we rattle the tarp and call out and say, Mr. Star,
Can we scratch it?
Yeah.
Just give it a bit of a shake?
Star. Old Man Star, was I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go. Yeah,
I'll probably go with Mr. Star rather than
Right,
Old
the
Man
Major is
Star.
now shaking like the pole of this, like one of the front poles. You're like, Mr. Star. Yeah, you don't get a reply, but the greengrocer next to you, who is not selling the best looking greengroceries you've ever seen, like slightly withered apples and stuff. Remember, food is expensive on the rock. There is a limited amount of agricultural space on the lower side. You're on the top side, but on the lower side there is farms. But you can imagine that most of that is going towards feeding the army and getting a basic grain supply. Classic bread and circuses. The basic grain supply is guaranteed by the prince. But yeah, so the food in the low market, the lesser market, is not really, really posh. But the guy behind these kind of peeks his head out. Is like, does he owe you money? He owes me money.
No, we were just hoping to ask him a few questions.
He told me I had to look after his stall. He said yesterday he said he was off looking for his boy. I mean, I imagine what's a 17-year-old or whatever he is going to be doing? I know what he's going to be doing, don't you? And he kind of winks, but he can't wink, so he blinks. But you can tell he's trying to wink at you. I said, so he's haired off. I've probably just gone senile. That's what he's done.
Are you aware of his whereabouts?
The greengrocer will say that Old Man Star said he's going to be searching round. Old Man Star thought that he'd find his son around the Low City or the docks. He assumed, like you did actually, that he might be being shipped out and that he'd be searching for him.
Old Man Star, well known
the guy
around
says,
these parts. If we asked other people, would they know? Would they know if they've seen him?
Yeah. He says, maybe he used to be an explorer of some kind in his time. I mean, his time, though, long time ago. And, I mean, on the other hand, I imagine he won't be exploring the city very quickly, given he's got a gammy leg. So got a wooden leg, you see. He'll be popping around.
Well, he's truly lucky to have such compassionate friends as you, my dear man. Here's
the guy preens and is like, exactly, I look after it. Didn't even nick anything. Much.
Well, here's a silver coin for your trouble.
He looks at the silver coin and he's like, which is, even by his standards, that's still worth multiple apples. He's like, yeah, good. That's a good amount of money. He'll kind of, you see him like goleming it. He's kind of staring at this coin, bites it. He's like, oh, very generous, master. And looks and says, Major. Yeah, he says, we've always respected your kind. Hefty appetites, don't mind about the source of the food, eh?
We might have to disagree on that, but yes.
Yeah. He'll turn to a customer who's come up, and you can hear him arguing about the price of these withered apples. And then the guy's like, "Oh well, if I can't have that many apples, maybe I could just, I don't know, could I just have some berries?" And you look, and the berries, you're like, I'm fairly sure those berries are slightly mouldy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy is now the greengrocer is talking to this other customer now.
Stype hates to see produce in this sort of condition.
Yeah.
Gives him conniptions.
Incidentally, Father Stype, where do we buy our food from? Not here, right?
From a good, honest farmer's market.
Oh, you found one on the rock.
On the underside, not so much frequented by you city folk.
Yeah, turns out the temple of the kind of the pantheons, it has some good contacts that you do not have.
Right, shall we try the docks again then?
Yeah, but let's keep away
Yes,
from
sir.
that warehouse that
Yeah.
Flynn made an idiot of himself in.
Well, he made a lady friend. I mean, she did not make him. I think. Well,
Yeah.
she did literally make him. I think she was. His bonus just about got her to being like, okay, I guess I won't shoot you. Was,
Yeah.
I think the
Just a
experience he had of
weirdo.
that.
Probably harmless.
Yeah, yeah, just a freak, not a thief.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's the plan? What are you looking for? What contact are you chasing or whatever?
I guess we're looking for Old Man Star, and given that he's got a wooden leg, I vote we could split. Well, probably not a good idea to split it, given there's only 4 of us. But I think we just sort of radiate, go around some streets, and then if we see anybody out and about who's running a stall or whatever, see if they've seen Old Man Star / a guy with a wooden leg.
Yeah. This could be something. Phsphl has information gathering, doesn't he? So if you want to actually, you can either just do some reaction checks, or you can ask Phsphl to roll, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying remember that is something that Phsphl has. You're like, oh, let's go and gather information.
Seems like a good idea. Might as
It
well.
is
Yeah.
kind of his jam.
Yeah.
Let me remind myself exactly how that works.
Should be on your sheet, right? Downwell weapon proficiency
Yeah.
there.
Remember, so with non-weapon proficiencies, you roll a d20 and you want to roll equal or under the ability described. So if it's like intelligence 15, you roll 15 or less. If it's intelligence
yeah.
-2, then it would be 13 or less.
This is, yeah, I just need to double check the what it says about the old kit. I think it's, oh no, sorry, proficiency.
Oh, is that? What have I done there?
Yeah, it's a thief proficiency, information gathering.
Yep.
Intelligence.
What's the associated ability? Cool.
Character's reaction adjustments based on charisma should benefit or penalise the roll. Otherwise, it's just intelligence.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think.
What? So yeah, did you say your charisma was 12?
Yeah.
Which gives you a reaction bonus. It might actually be a reaction bonus of 0, but it might be +1, which would make it better. So it's worth checking.
I think
12 is still
reaction
0.
adjustment 0,
Like-
yeah.
13 is 1. So yeah, you're just rolling versus your int. That's a nice mechanic.
Okay, my int is 11. 17.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so Phsphl doesn't manage to speed up your experience by like hitting his contacts. He can't find the couple of regulars he'll kind of find around the docks, and then comes back to you. I don't know what the Lizardman for shrug is, but he can't pick up his regular contacts.
One
so-
of several subtle variations on a vacant stare.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, for real expression, kind of there's a slight lick of the lips. But yeah, so yeah, I guess you're just spending some time in the streets then. Jay, do you want to roll first of all, do you want to roll an encounter check then? Because you are just out in the streets now.
That's
Searching.
encounters a
D6. D6 generally. Not always, but...
1.
Could you roll me a D10?
What?
8. How interesting. Okay. I'm just gonna roll a D100. Dare I ask? I don't think I've ever noticed this. Under the dice macro, there is an option for fudge dice.
I
What are
think
fudge
you
dice?
can. I think as DM, you can fudge a roll if you want to deceive
I've
your
done-
players.
Okay,
Aren't they like
I
the
feel like
plus
it's time
minus
to...
dice?
Oh, maybe I misunderstood.
Like they have
Yeah,
pluses
but-
and minuses and blank spots on them. I think you use them in like other game systems with less complicated rules.
Oh,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
I was assuming it was
okay.
You thought it was just a
Yeah,
hack.
see?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're about to have to cleanse and purge roll 20 like it was a Xenos contaminated colony, but no, we'll leave it for now.
Yeah, they could
So,
just wait their die like
Phsphl,
normal people.
Yeah. First of all, your hand clamps down on the hand of a young girl whose hand is halfway inside your satchel or whatever you're carrying.
Okay.
Like you instinctively just go, and she looks up at you and smiles beatifically.
I'll grab her arm firmly and say, so is she human?
Yeah, she's a human.
I'll say, can I help you, mammal?
She'll say, I was just, what are the directions to the low market, the lesser market? I've just been looking for it for hours. I'm so hungry. Oh, I could really do with some food. And she'll look up at you again, smiling. She's kind of dark-skinned, like brunettish hair.
I'll say to her,
maybe 10 or 11.
I'll say to her, I can only provide directions to the city watch.
I'm
She
just
says,
gonna kick
I
back
know
as
my
well.
way there. Sparks, what do you think seeing this?
Although I have every forum to children and what's happening? And nothing's happened yet, so I wouldn't be in. But,
Yeah. Yeah, so you just you look on.
Yeah, look on, and I just want to kind of scan crowd around or things.
It's a bustling dockside crowd. People are pretty busy. I mean, in fact, Phsphl, who's probably lifted one or two purses in his time, even if he's not an expert, in the course of his job, would probably know that she's looked for a crowded place to have a go.
Does she look hungry?
So it's fairly crowded. She looks a bit dirty. I wouldn't say she looks emaciated. She doesn't, look like part of her food appeal, but she's not fat or chubby. She looks pretty wiry and thin and small.
I want to swap hands that I'm, restraining her with, and just have a cursory check to see whether she actually took anything.
No, you caught her in the act, as far as I can tell. Her hand was inside. Obviously, if she had something, there was a lizard claw that grabbed her hand, so she dropped it back in the bag.
Cool. Well, I like to frighten her a little bit, but obviously being in as you say, being in the profession I'm in, it's not a occasional bit of deception and thievery has featured in my past. So I'll release her and tell her, give her some sort of tip on how to avoid getting caught next time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it probably will be that you're like, you heard her stop behind you, like you heard the weird sound of her feet stopping. So you're like, oh wow, something stopped next to me. So the tip will be like, basically you have to keep walking as you lift, as if you're just going somewhere else. And she'll be like, oh, thank you, mister. I mean, not that I was trying to steal anything, but that's, if I were stealing things, that'd be an amazing piece of advice.
Next week, Owen's going to teach us how to pick locks.
And she'll, yeah. What you do, Major, in the strange role-playing situation you've produced is, yeah.
Yeah, I'll.
This is like the way to bypass domestic crime kind of agencies, is just watch streams where we give you advice on petty crime.
I'll bare my teeth at her in the manner that always seems to unsettle humans, and
Fox watches as
Sorry, Sparks, what was that? Spark watches.
just very intently as Phsphl bears his.
Yep. Yep. His teeth. Yeah, yeah. Cool. You gonna say anything else to her, Phsphl, or what's the plan?
no, not really. I'm not particularly upset by it. Once I'm satisfied,
Yeah.
she hasn't got anything. I assume this is almost an everyday part of life on in this part of the rock. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I'll give her a sort of minor scolding, but fairly toothless.
Yeah. Well, literally quite toothy, from what you're saying, to be fair.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but not very bitey. That's the difference, right? The bitey scolds are the ones you've got to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. Okay. Yeah, anyone else? I mean, Major, or I know, so Spark's been watching to make sure the girl's okay. Major, Stype, anything from you?
Stype,
I think after our...
Sorry, go ahead, Major.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I think after our last experience with being stopped in the middle of the street, I was just checking behind us to make sure there's no Yakuza sneaking up on us.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Stipe's not really going to intervene. If she looked like really hungry, he probably would have fed her, but she doesn't look like she's starving or anything.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Cool. Okay. I guess you're keeping walking around. It's going to take a while to, search stuff out. Major, do you want to roll a d6? As you keep searching along the docks for word of Old Man Star.
Power. That will be it.
Yeah, you're kind of wandering along down past Shoetown, and then popping your head in at your contacts at the Hanro Cobblery. The contacts that largely made last night, as the Major said, we were on a stakeout outside, which led to you getting to know the some of the staff at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, you hear that at an old human, not a shoe, with a wooden leg, was seen heading into the inner streets of Shoetown.
All right, let's follow.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, Tom, do you want to make an encounter check then? I guess, given that you're that sounds like another turn's worth of action. It's talking and walking. So.
Also a 4.
Also a 4, yeah. Great. So yeah, you head into those kind of inner streets, following rumor and sound of this guy being like, oh, okay, so he went that way. You were eventually told he went into the guy saying to you says, "Oh, he went into that warehouse," and he like points at a warehouse, and then he's like, and then almost catching the nuance, he's like speaking in Bralian, and then he kind of catches himself and then says, "How you Bralians? You say warehouse inverted commas."
No, their house.
He says, it's a lodge. No, warehouse. Like it's a lodge. It's I think we would call it a front.
Ah.
Oh. Okay.
He's old. That can't end well.
We'll see.
Would be. Gross.
Mm-hmm. What's that, Sparks?
Wondering if what the front four.
I
Oh.
can guess.
Yeah,
it
he'll
will-
kind of can be like. Yeah, what's the major saying? Sorry.
I think we probably can guess who it's the front for at this point.
That would be presumption.
The guy will kind of look at you, probably look at Sparks as he asks this, almost like with not sure how to react, and he'll say, for the local beneficent organisation.
Beneficent?
Mafia boy.
Beneficent.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
The local crime folks.
He says, he'll look around kind of with an exaggerated look, and he'll be like, if you didn't know that's where they worked out of and they held their meetings, I mean, you're in the wrong part of town, my friends. I'd recommend you get back somewhere perhaps a little bit more to your liking, more to your taste, more to your knowledge.
Who's this
That's
guy?
definitely a thing we could do.
How much has the Major turned towards this building's door by now?
I'm fully watching it. Just, assessing how
Yeah.
heavy the hinges are, what kind of wood it's made of.
How resistant it may or may not be to headbutting.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually feel like that's something the Major is just allowed to assess. I think the Major is probably has some expertise on smashing doors. It looks like it would probably be. It's heavy, but of a fairly normal type. You assume it would be bolted. You of course do have an open doors ability, don't you, Major?
Yes.
Of some kind. What's your strength? Is it
My strength
17
is
or something?
16. So
So
I've
you've got a nearly 50% chance of just barging down a door.
Oh yeah.
The Major thinks this is an ordinary-looking door, probably bolted. It could be unbolted, in which case it just opened when you smashed it. But given that you think it is a Yakuza house, I think you imagine.
So I guess the main question is, do we come up with a plan, or do we just open the door?
And this is where
The guy
we
you're
think the
talking
guy
to
has
begins
gone.
to back away. Begins to back away in the opposite direction.
So this is where we think Old Man Star is. Is that?
Yes.
The guy in this kind of big central courtyard said that the old human with the peg leg. I mean, this guy's a human too. But he's like, oh yeah, an old human with a peg leg went into the LBA, the local beneficent organisations.
Can we knock? I mean, the Mafia probably aren't going to be directly hostile to us. We've not got any particular beef with them one way or the other.
Are you suggesting we knock politely or impolitely?
I think
So
Stype...
is this the same? Is it the same Mafia who attacked us in the street?
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about.
That was when we had stuff
I mean,
for
you
them
don't know
to
if it's the
steal,
same.
though.
Yeah, but it's the same kind of area of town. Yeah.
I suppose we are just looking to talk to this grandfather. We don't, we are just trying to get information.
Yeah, we're just
involved
about
or
our
anything
business.
like that.
I mean, if they prove hostile, we might have to change tactic, but could start by knocking.
Okay. We can start by
great.
knocking. I'm sensing general approval here for knocking.
Yeah, happy to knock.
Hold the headbutts for later, Major. You'll need them.
You go and knock on the door, and a metal slide comes out. Probably from a metal frame at the top. Slide comes out, and you see a guy's eyes peeking through, and he's like, "Who needs to deal with House Ozamata's merchant house?" He'll be like looking suspiciously around you. I mean, his eyes will be, anyway.
Just some fine
Announce
city
ourselves
residents
as
in need of
unaffiliated
information.
adventurers.
Unaffiliated adventurers. I like that.
There's a slight sneer, and he's like, "I haven't heard of that merchant house." He'll say, "Tell me why you're bothering me and bothering us, and then and then you can be on your way." He'll say.
We're interested in some information. And we think you may be speaking to somebody else after similar information.
He'll say, well, you see, the old man has an appointment with our local agent, our local shipping agent, and I don't know you from Prince Andrew himself.
In that case, I'm Prince Andrew. You better let me in.
I would say, as the Major speaks, he probably looks up and is like, "Oh, is it? Oh, And he says, "Do you know what? Give me a moment," and shuts the slide on the door.
I'm going to try and punch through the slide.
Why?
That's going to be an attack roll. You're not really trying to break down the door after all. You're just trying to break the thing. Yeah. So make an attack roll.
Okay, let me just find where the button is for attack rolls. But there's so many buttons.
You just want to roll a single d20, won't you?
Yep, here we go. Strength bonus. Oh god, why do there so many buttons? Submit.
Yeah, you just want to roll a d20 and compare it to your Thaco. You don't need anything else. You just want to roll
8, Thaco 20.
It's an AC or worse. So you rolled.
Yeah, AC of 8.
I can actually. You rolled a 12, yeah. Oh, so you don't have any Thaco bonus on your thingy.
Not yet.
On your fists. I guess you might on some other stuff from. Yeah. Do you not have a strength bonus for 16?
Damage adjustment, but not hit bonus.
No attack bonus. No, that's fine. Yes, and it's not a specialised weapon either, is it? Like your fists aren't a specialised weapon.
No.
So yeah, you bang into it, and there's a mighty thump. It probably doesn't even hurt your hands. You hit it, you can feel there's resistance, and maybe there's just the very slight tang or slight pain of punching something. And you can. The rest you look after is, and you're fairly sure you can see like a knuckle ding in it, but it doesn't break or anything. It's still pretty solid. Anything else? Any other reactions from the rest of you?
I mean, that usually works.
I think Stype is just going to back away a bit from the door in case it's like we've kicked the hornet's nest here.
Yeah.
Sparks, anything from you?
Saying that the Major failed, Sparks would just directly in front of the door.
Yeah.
In case anything happens.
So yeah, the Sparks. There's something probably quite an image to this of this gnome-sized robot, not actually particularly big, just shuffling the major aside away from the door. Like a recalcitrant child or something. No, dear, I'll take this. But yeah, a few moments later, the slide opens again. There's a very slight kind of, I guess, bit of friction as the bit that he's dinged has to move past the chock at the far end. And the same eyes go and look at him. He says, "We heard you the first time. You know, I've got a meeting for you. If you want to come in." This is the same voice, by the way.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
it's always nice to receive a polite invitation. I assume you've no objection to me coming in with all of my compatriots.
He'll say no. I think you're all wanted.
All right.
Yeah, the door will swing open, and you'll see down a corridor. It kind of already, like, you can kind of sense the scale of the building, so maybe it makes sense for you already. I mean, like, oh, so that there's like a corridor going off at the far end of this corridor in an angle. There's some stairs. There's another corridor going that way. Like, you can feel like this must be a warren of buildings. It's wooden inside. Chiefly, you can see the door is like the outside wall is massive wooden beams. And the front door has metal reinforcement, so you know, it could have been knocked down, but it certainly would have been required some effort. But yeah, so he gestures you in, and then points to the second door on the right, points says, "Yes, my employer invites you to wait there. There's tea for any who want it, fresh hot tea." And you may make yourself comfortable. And then smiles slightly toothlessly, like he's missing like 5 of his front 8 teeth or something.
Stype will indulge in some tea.
I'm not drinking the tea.
Yeah. First of all, I guess Sparks isn't drinking the tea, but yeah. I imagine, by the way, I assume that does the major move Sparks back out of the way, or is Sparks in first?
I guess Sparks is in first.
Yeah. Yeah. You can imagine the logic circuit like going in Sparks' head, like, idiot Giff has put us in danger. And yeah, you go around, and there is actually like a little sitting room with comfortable mats on the floor that you can, you know, kneel on or sit on. And, you know, Stype can certainly go in and be served by a very, very attractive young shoe woman, be served some tea. The guy says that his factor will be with you in just a few minutes.
They aren't trying to kill us yet.
Yeah, so you... Phsphl, what are you doing?
Probably scoping out the space as much as possible.
Yeah. There's one exit. It's a relatively small room. It does seem like a reception room. You know, it's comfortably furnished, but not necessarily the poshest stuff. There is, to be fair, there is actually one other exit. There's a communicating corridor through a slide door going the other way. The main construction of the corridors and stuff is all solid wood with solid doors, but there are some slide doors internally. So you can see that slide door through which the servant or host or whatever comes through, and then she returns, and then the door is slid shut by someone else on the other side. So yeah, the other 2 walls, or the other 3 walls, including the wall with the door, are all solid wood, as far as you can see. Yeah. A few. Yes, Stype.
Stype just wants to, what's the tea like? Is it good? What kind of tea is it?
Yeah, I mean, is Stype a connoisseur of tea? Does he know tea?
Probably not like really fancy tea, but he probably does know tea. I think he would be into the growing of tea.
He has some opinions about tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, he'll Stype will be like, yeah, this is decent stuff. It's not. You don't think it's the finest hand-picked white tea picked by monkeys and nuns on far mountains or something, but it's pretty solid black tea, brewed fairly lightly. in a kind of, they're quite nice cups. I imagine it's probably good the Major isn't drinking the tea because the china is like quite thin. But yeah, a few minutes later, a slightly more impressively dressed you, rather than this slightly raggedy guy who probably had visible knives and a bandolier. You have a guy come in practical streetwear, but he's still got like, you know, it's nicer stuff. The Huck armor is quite nice. It's there's a silk undershirt that you can see, and he comes in and kneels down with you. He's early middle age, maybe in his 40s or so. He's human. He will look round you and say, as he speaks to you, by the way, there is a human. You see a human passing the door, and you hear the click of wood hitting the floor. There's another human who you can't see properly because he's like half blocked. We see a human passing behind him toward the door, and there's a click of wood on the floor.
Okay.
Can you repeat that, Owen? Sorry, I just noticed Alex maybe joining us, but
Sorry. Oh. He's about to. Is he? I can't see him anymore. Oh yes, yes. Shall I respond to that? Well, 1 second, Divya. Yeah. Good. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, we're about to have him bamf in. Hey guys.
I've come to
so,
rescue the lot
I
of
know.
you.
So yes, Jay. Yeah. Give him a moment, possibly. So yeah, Jay, I was saying that one human comes in wearing kind of a nice streetwear, but kind of a slightly higher grade than this other guy. Kneels down in front of you. He's early middle-aged human, and looks obviously like he might be a bit more senior here than this other guy. You see obscured behind him as he comes in the door. You see another, you think human-sized figure walking past. There is a sound of wood clicking on the floor as that happens toward the front door.
So it sounds like he's
okay.
leaving.
yeah. Okay.
I guess we probably don't want to bust out and say, "Oh, can we have a word?"
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you might.
It sounds like they're trying to evacuate before we talk to them.
Possibly.
They saw me coming and ran for it.
In fact, yeah, you know what? In
that's
fact, Stype is going to sort of gently get up and step into the hallway and see if he can say, "Old Man Star."
Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Is that you there? Can you
Yes.
hear us?
Yes, it is me. I'm here.
Great. Gil
Howdy.
bumps into existence. It's terrifying. The kind of seams of reality crack. You see the creeping chaos Nyarlathotep beyond, and stepping out with a sick grin on his face, Gil Teamorin. Then it shuts, and it's always as if Gil has always been with you. Gil, you are in. You're in Shoetown. You're in the local Beneficent Association's warehouse, allegedly. And have procured a meeting via the Major being recognised by the door guard with apparently the local factor. You are looking for Old Man Star, who you believe is currently leaving the building as you're about to have your meeting. That is where you are. You are drinking tea if you want to, because you are in a tea room, or rather in a reception room.
Okay.
So
Sounds
yeah,
like there's action happening further back.
yeah.
Not action.
So yeah, Stype pops up and we'll get. But movement, yeah. So Stype will pop up and kind of look into the corridor. Your host, I guess, the guy who's just come in, looks up with semi-concealed annoyance or confusion. Obviously he's like, I've sat down and he's popped up. You look. There's not. There are some guards in the hallway as well who I think probably maybe don't quite step in your way, but they stand off watching you. Hands on. They probably both have size, and they will both look at you and just wonder what you're about to do. There is an old man, an old human male, who turns around. Has got slightly crooked back, He's got a peg leg and white thinning hair, and he'll turn round and say, "What's it to you?"
Well, begging your pardon,
And
sir.
then he'll probably see your dress and be like, "Oh, I mean, sorry, Father. Yes, I am Old Man Star."
Well, begging your pardon, sir. If you, we've a meeting to have in here, but perhaps we could stop by your stall later this evening and have a word with you. Or if you happen to be somewhere else this evening, we could meet you there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll say, "Oh, what does it concern?"
We'd.
I don't really talk. I don't give history lessons on my past.
That's quite all right. I'm sure you could give us one, but we wanted to talk to you about your boy who's gone missing.
Mm-hmm. He'll nod and say, "Ah, all right. I'll be there this afternoon. I'll wait there, and I've got some contacts out. I'll tell them to come and meet me there."
Righto. See you later.
And then nods. The guards, by the way, at this point are like pressing him out the door and like herding you back towards the.
Stype, now that the interaction is over, will comply.
Yeah. The factor says, "I was saying that I'm the factor of this this house of trade, and I've heard something of your work." And then he'll look at the major and say, "Major Remmington-Smythe, is it not?"
Yes, it is.
They say you've got a head for business.
I have a head for many things. Please try to ensure that in the future business does not happen to me.
He'll wave his hand and say, often partners who first meet in conflict in the marketplace might find alliances, might find products on which to work together, and we're always in need of security personnel and people of your expertises.
I would think long and hard before making that offer to me again.
He'll
I may find it
raise an eyebrow.
upsetting.
He'll let the factor will look around the rest of the group. Probably not the like halfling priest of Demeter, but maybe at Phsphl, maybe at the Autognome in Curiosity. But just he won't say anything, but just perhaps leaving the just a moment open. Because as he's said whatever he said. What's that, Sparks? Oh, and
he would just look at him
sorry, so
kind of. Yeah, he would just look at him kind of square in the eye and just waiting to read the situation. Say if
Stype is just drinking the tea.
Yeah, but apparently unaware of the tension between the major and this guy. Anything from Gil or Phsphl?
I'm not sure if Gil's or does Gil know that these guys are, suspicious?
We know they are effectively the mafia.
I mean,
that's not like a thing we discovered as such. It's like effectively well known, it seems.
Yeah, they are literally Yakuza.
Yeah.
No one has ever said so, and it would probably be detrimental to your short-term life prospects.
Yeah, to out and out say it, but
yeah. I think officially we were told that they were a local benevolent organization.
Yeah.
The question is benevolent for who?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, or who pays them.
The bondholders, of course.
Yeah, they steal from the rich.
Yeah. ...
Give to.
They don't give; they just steal from the rich.
Yeah.
Have we asked anything about that other warehouse, or are we saving that for when we talk to the old man?
We've asked very little yet. He's came in and offered us a job after we knocked politely. I mean, I had assumed that Old Man Star had been kidnapped and/or tortured by them, so the fact that he's just walked out is Left me a little nonplussed at
Yeah,
least.
taking the wind out of your sails.
If the Major was basically trying to burst in here and kill everyone, it was more or less where we left it.
Fox has no real interest in working with these guys. It's kind of bit towards the door, going, okay, I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
We quite most of your partners, and just kind of keeps walking towards the door. Quite interested in this situation.
Yeah. What do they do about a robot attempting to just walk out? I don't know. That's a tough one. Anything else from anyone else? Gil or Phsphl?
Yeah, I think it probably is worth asking them now about this other warehouse, the one close to the docks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, why
what ask what they know about it, who owns it, if it's
He'll say business partners. Contracts require consideration. Each side must have a consideration. If you're seeking to enter into the business of information, very well, but you must offer something.
What I am offering is that I will politely walk out at the end of this meeting.
Ooh.
He'll smile even more broadly, kind of in this friendly fashion, which doesn't reach his eyes, and he'll turn back to Gil, he'll essentially ignore the Major for now and turn back to Gil.
Well, I can tell you something interesting that happened to me the other day. In fact, all of us, whilst we were working on a job delivering some armor to this Giff company, to the
Agamor platoon.
The Agamor company, yes. Yeah, we were attacked en route by some show gentlemen, which was most strange. Even had
an
he
incident
says,
that I hasten to add we have not yet reported to the Watch.
They were like on the scene immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a play by Stype, I think, at this point. Like, hey, I didn't tell the Watch anything.
Well, I mean, they did say, come and give us a
Major,
report, and we haven't
Alpha
done
character
that.
Major
So.
did go.
Yeah. I had to go into the station and make a full report.
Oh, the Major has.
Oh, did you do that? Okay. Well, then it is a play.
No one else had to. Yeah. It's turned into a play. Phsphl, anything from you in this situation?
I don't know.
I mean, Phsphl doesn't have to care or do anything. I was just giving you the chance to. He's looking around all of you, trying to find someone sensible to talk to.
At this point, with him looking about, you just hear sparks from kind of the door. We go, "Have a mission, the utmost importance. These are no longer related to that mission. We need to get on with it," and just walks out.
Yeah, I mean, Sparks hasn't been stopped. There's a very slight signal from the Factor towards the couple of guards in the hallway who just let Sparks walk through.
Outside now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come out with it if no one else has anything to say.
Come out
Well,
with what?
Stype was just going to ask what they know about the chainmen. That was basically what I was. That's what.
Yeah,
Stype
that one.
wanted. Yeah.
He'll shrug and say, "Dear Major, I'm sure we could exchange on that contract that you leave peaceably and we watch you leave peaceably. I'm grateful. I'm glad to have been able to give such skilled security guards hospitality. And if you would be uninterested in further discourse on shared matters of interest, then..." and he'll gesture to the door and begin to stand.
Should I take it to imply that you are not interested in telling us about the chainmen?
He says, "Not an organisation we have any common interests with, so I know very little about them." And will be heading towards the front door of the room, not the slide door.
It would seem to me that a skilled businessman such as yourself might be interested in removing potential competitors from the market.
He will stop at the door and turn around smiling again, beneficently and warmly, and say, "Are you intending to remove these competitors from the market?"
With extreme prejudice, yes.
He'll smile more broadly. There's a Cheshire cat element to this. Like, you're not actually sure how his mouth isn't wider than his ears at this point. As he kneels back down again and says, as I say, we do not generally have common business interests with slavers. We're a legal business at any rate, and certainly not interested in slavery. But he says, certainly that these people have, all over the spheres, proven an obstacle to my my cohorts and compatriots. And he'll shrug and then say, yes, if all I know of them in respect to the Rock and in respect of what Mr. Starr was talking to us about, all I can say is that we believe them to be associated with a merchant house. We believe that they use a merchant house as cover, not my own, you understand, or not my own master's. And he'll shrug and then say, that he'll turn to Gil and say that I wouldn't be interested in the trading company or their premises. They are a legitimate mercenary business under mark from the prince, but not very far off, perhaps. You may find somewhere of more interest to you.
Gil, can you translate for me?
There was quite a lot of double talk and stuff in there, but I think it's, he wants to see results before he commits, I think.
No, I think he was saying that the warehouse that we were first interested in, that you were asking about, is as far as this guy's concerned, a legitimate mercenary company. But I think he was hinting that there was like another warehouse or location nearby that may be of more interest to us, i.e. might have something to do with the chainmen.
I think he might need to be less subtle if he wants us to get results.
Yeah, yeah. He's trying to use subtlety. Like,
this is what happens when the
Flynn
party doesn't
isn't
have
here.
Flynn.
We have not got the capacity to deal with this. Like, Sparks is gone. Phsphl is a
what
reptile.
do you mean? Are you saying we should attack this place on the? Yeah. Are we actually rating Sparks as the second most subtle member of the party at this point?
It's between Sparks and Stype, which doesn't put us in a particularly good position, I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, let's take our leave. I think this guy is like satisfied that we're gonna act with extreme prejudice, and as Sparks has pointed out, we need to get a wiggle on. So let's take our gains and go.
Yeah.
Stype
be
will
permitted to leave
make
unmolested.
the slightest bow.
Sparks will be waiting outside. Yeah. No, the guy will return a bow in courtesy to Stype. And smile even more broadly. Like, his mouth is now like roughly the dimensions of the room in terms of his smile, Major, as you leave the room. And he'll say, very good doing business today.
Indeed. I can only hope our future meetings will be so amenable. Amicable? Whatever.
Either, both.
Don't make me
He says,
kill you.
I believe you can find those words in a dictionary.
Crikey, if we get out of here without
laugh as
somebody
if you
getting
haven't said
headbutted, it's
anything
going to be a
weird. He'll
goddamn
just laugh
miracle.
as if you made a friendly joke. Yeah, he'll just laugh as if you made a friendly joke. Yeah. Well, what a joker! What a joker! And the door will be slammed unceremoniously behind you as you leave.
All right.
Yes, Sparks will have remained outside, completely unmolested. It turns out a heavily armed robot doesn't really get attacked very much on his own.
let's fill sparks in of what we have managed to find out. Like this warehouse may be useful. Do we want to check that out first, being in this area, or should we go and talk to Old Man Star and come back at night?
I think it's probably worth speaking to Star first to get.
Yeah, see what they said to him,
and then we can do a night time. Hopefully, going to be a little quieter.
Yeah.
Sounds like solid tactics.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's head back to Star's
So you head
store.
back out into the city. Yeah, up to there. I think we're back to technically Phil was our encounter, wasn't he? You're rolling an encounter, Phil. Oh no, Alex. Alex, do you want to roll a D6 encounter?
Yes. It's a 5.
Yep. Okay, you can get back to the lesser market without further major interception. You're into the afternoon now. You can go back to Old Man Star's stall where he is sitting, waiting for you. And you hear him as you walk across the market towards it. You do hear occasional bursts of recrimination coming from his neighbour, and you hear him being like, "Yeah, your friend's knocking up my stall every hour of the day, wasting my time on business." And then as you come into view, the guy will fall silent and then turn around to someone who's not a customer but is nearby and say, "Oh, you're asking for some bananas. Well, I don't have any this time of year, but perhaps I'd interest you in a peach." And he'll lift up one very single, like really small withered peach. You can almost see the stone of the peach pushing out from the skin.
While he's
An Old Man
distracted,
Star will...
Faust nibbles some of the mouldy berries.
Yeah, nice. Faust has like auto stealth on stealing food from stalls, so he just gets on with it. And Star will look up, and he looks anxious. He's sitting behind the stall. You see that there are a bunch of knickknacks on the stall. There aren't any star wheel pistols, but there are a bunch of knickknacks. Odd flowers in pots. You haven't seen the flowers before. There's a piece of glass which is very, very cold, and it has something inside it, like it's like a glass box, but there's no seam to the box or something, and there's something inside the glass. If you know what I mean, like the glass has come around it, and it's radiating cold. Star looks and says, "You got out of your meeting then?"
And you yours?
He says, "I had something to trade in return for the things I wanted. They are honourable men in their way."
Well, indeed, in their way.
Very much in that way.
I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us what they have offered to do for you, as we might be on the same track as far as that goes.
Yeah. He says, if you're looking for my son, perhaps, or my grandson, perhaps you have. He says, "I wanted to know who had taken the boy. I've been looking around the streets and for a day and couldn't find any information, so I really was rather desperate, and so I went to them, and I offered them some knowledge in return for some knowledge, the knowledge of where my son may have been taken."
And
he says they are maybe honourable, but they're not generous.
Or did you get any luck with?
Yeah, he'll say that that the Factor had suggested that the merchant house of Ironfest might know something about the movement of labour on the rock. And then he'll snort and say, "He means they're slavers. He means they're a front for the chainmen." That's what I thought anyway. That's what I took from it.
I see. Well, that tallies with what we've been told. Gives us a nice hedge against the Beneficence being duplicitous. what I'd like to know is, has this been happening more recently? Is your boy, among others, who've gone missing?
He'll say people always go missing. It's a port. I mean, you can't stop people. Sometimes they go missing on purpose. I've gone missing on purpose myself over a long time ago. But he says they do say there's been a rash of disappearances of younger people recently. My grandson, he's nearly an adult, but he's still young. Still a kid. He says, but rumour has it that other children have been kidnapped as well.
Well, we've a view to taking
So
a look
then
at
he'll
this
lean forward
merchant
and
house. Sorry, go ahead.
As you say that, he'll lean forward and say, and you're going to do something about this, are you? You're going to go and deal with House Iron Fez or the Chainmen or whatever they are.
If we can. And if you're able to be of any assistance in that regard, we could certainly use any of the help we can get.
He'll say, yeah. He'll kind of look dubiously down at himself, but he'll pat a crossbow next to him, like a light crossbow, and say, I could give you Overwatch. I think I could still get this going and fire it. I mean, then he might look around his bits and bobs, and he'll say, what kind of mission are you thinking you're going to be doing? What's your approach?
Well,
he'll probably turn to Phsphl and say, I mean, you can talk out of character, but he'll probably turn to Phsphl and say, I know you're a bounty hunter. How would you deal with this?
He recognises me.
He says he's heard of you.
Oh. I think I'm quite pleased by that.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, people tell me there's this Lizardman who just comes around sometimes on the market, creeping people out and saying he's a bounty hunter. I assumed it was you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, infamy's better than obscurity. Sorry, Phil.
I was just going to say, I think Sparks would look over to him and say, my plan of probably
you might need to repeat that, Spark.
action, operation, or
Yeah, your plan of action.
yeah, would be kind of to the front door and Operation Shock and or at that point the circle in the chest would kind of begin to light up. Was charging the wand of lightning, but not actually releasing it.
Yeah. Any
Fair.
other
Very good.
contributions? Any other thoughts?
I mean, I certainly favour the direct approach here.
I wonder if we could get the watch involved. I mean, they probably can't at all levels just be fine with there being slavers. Like there might be a strategic payoff that the right person is turning a blind eye. But if we come to the watch,
Yeah, but like, the watch are humans. They're all small and fragile.
well, yeah, but I mean we can send them in first, can't we?
What is that supposed to mean?
Is the fun in sending them in first?
That the ones that can't set fire to people with their minds aren't, useful on an operation such as this. You want...
Is bounty hunting legal, by the way?
I think it
Yes,
depends
it
on the
is,
bounty,
yeah.
doesn't it? Depends on who you've got a bounty on.
On my crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, kick in the door then. That's what we tell Star, I guess. That's the plan.
I mean, he'll kind of look at me like, slightly wince, but then kind of shrug. He's like, if it gives us a chance of finding my boy, then, he's like, I mean, you might catch some heat for that. You understand that, don't you? and then kind of shake his head, and then probably he'll look amongst you. And what weapons are you each carrying?
I've just got a scythe.
I have a heavy crossbow and an emergency sort of two-handed sword if I need it. Usually I don't need it.
Yeah.
Tooled up with a short sword, dagger, and short bow, in addition to my claws and tail.
Yeah. Sparks obviously has fists and a weird glowing thing on his chest. Gil, you have a long sword, I think?
Bastard sword and a sling.
Bastard sword, yeah. Okay, well, he'll probably look amongst you for that, and then, he will... You're not really sure. Something happens, like, is he getting some kind of necklace? He kind of puts his hands over his mouth, and there's some kind of odd noise as he seems to fiddle around with something around his neck and his face. And then he has a slightly damp-looking key, and then he kind of goes into the stall and kind of unlocks something and draws out a few arrows, 3 arrows, and they are, I think they'll be just flight arrows, and then he'll offer them to, I guess, Phsphl, because Phsphl said he had a bow, didn't he? So he'll offer you some flight arrows, Phsphl.
Cool. How many?
And 3, and they are black with decorative scroll work on them, and he says these are enchanted arrows, particularly accurate. And maybe of some use if you're taking the direct approach.
Ooh, lovely.
Not to sound unappreciative at all, but I can't help but notice that the tarp on your stall has some lovely pistols sort of engraved upon it.
He'll shrug and kind of he'll look almost shamefaced and say, "I did own a star wheel. I lost it gambling."
I understand. They are regrettably difficult to come by. My eternal.
He'll say, though, if you like that sort of thing, he'll say, if you like that sort of thing, I mean, given what you're doing for me, I'll. He is assuming, by the way, because what you said, he is going to come along with his light crossbow and go somewhere. He's pretty certain he's going to accompany you. But he'll say, he'll give you a mining blasting charge as well from the same chest to the major.
Okay.
If you like gunpowder, that's got gunpowder in it.
Happy face.
Yeah.
Can't really add anything else to that.
The major, for the first time in the campaign, is satisfied with events.
I might have enough.
He'll say, "Well, are you going to go now? Are we going?"
I think we'd best wait till nightfall.
Yes.
Yes, I suppose that does make sense. We should get some eyes on there, though, if they're going to move anything.
Excellent idea. I guess a couple of us could keep some eyes on it during the day. If anyone else wants to do anything to prepare.
Yeah. He draws like a really big floppy hat out and stuffs on his head, and like pulls on a leather jerkin now too big for his body as he loads his crossbow. It kind of oils the string, the gears, and kind of tests the string and stuff. Who's going to go on watch? House Ironfest is down here. Or rather, their warehouse is, not their trading house, but their warehouse.
Stype will go and watch because he can probably look fairly inconspicuous and also has infravision if that becomes relevant. And actually, I've got observation as a non-weapon proficiency, so.
Yeah, as an out of character observation, there are many good reasons I shouldn't be on stakeout duty.
Certainly.
Anyone going with Stype?
Phsphl's certainly patient. He's not the most,
inconspicuous.
inconspicuous, but he's certainly staked out a few places before, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. That's... Okay.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
maybe,
Major, go for it.
Yeah, maybe.
I was going to say
Stype
compared. Sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, compared to the rest of the party, he may actually be the most inconspicuous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe so.
I mean, you've got a couple of Flynn's not here. A couple of humans and a halfling. They're fairly inconspicuous. But yeah, no, that's fine. Can we have a roll, I guess, from Phil? Do you want to roll a d6, Phil, for an encounter as you kind of cross the warehouse district? I assume, like, some of you will stay back and not on direct watch whilst you're waiting to, Some of you will be in the van. Yeah. No, that's fine. So yeah, I guess so. Phsphl and Stype going to try to take up a position. I assume. Phsphl, are you trying to stealth, or are you just going and hanging out?
Yeah, probably stealth, I guess.
What's your... I mean, it's your hide in shadows I want, because you're not, like, walking around, you're just trying to...
Hide in shadows.
I'd probably assume that Stype isn't really bothering to hide so much as just look like...
No, Stype is just walking around looking fairly nonchalant. He'll, like, take a seat here and there, and, yeah, just try and be about and...
Yeah, talk to dockers or whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
just
exactly,
be around,
yeah. Just pretend he's doing some light preaching and like, outreach for the agricultural communities.
Hide in shadows.
So, sorry, what was your hide in shadows?
30%.
Not terrible for first level. Obviously, like at low levels, you have these kind of like negative percentages where you're less than 50-50. But yeah, it means you got a chance. Yeah, Phsphl finds a good cranny, which still has a bit of sunlight dropping onto it to keep him nice and warm, but which is covered from the front with some crates and bales that look like they've been there for a few days, frankly. Remember, there is a labour shortage. There are fewer people around the streets, and even in the docks, and there are fewer workers moving stuff. So there is cargo under tarps or baled or whatever, all around the place. So yeah, you watch through the day for a bit, and while everyone else, I guess, just hangs out, maybe back at Hanoi Cobblery, who knows? But you see. Eventually, from you scope out the place. It is a large warehouse, pretty normal setup. Few high windows. There's a roof, whatever. There's a single major entry point in terms of doors. But you eventually, as it comes towards sundown, you see someone leaving it. A human, seemingly leaving it.
Are they on their own?
And heading out.
And are they carrying anything?
On their own, yeah. Yeah, like a paper bag.
Okay, so not, but they don't look like they. Can we sort of see how old they look, that sort of thing?
Yeah, like a youngish, maybe 20s, human male, sandy brown hair.
Okay.
Wearing.
He's wearing. He's not wearing longshore clothes. He's wearing sort of just outdoor wear you might see in the market in the lower city. He's got a leather jacket on, short boots.
Okay. I guess we just keep an eye on and see, like, watch where he goes. Probably not able to grab hold of him inconspicuously.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
so
Stype,
you're watching his direction of travel, and then
yeah, if he comes
yeah
within kind of reasonable radius of Stype, Stype is going to try and engage him in conversation. Just you know, basically try the preaching angle on him. You know the mission tactic: lock eyes, and then try and get a look in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're trying to keep it quite simple. You're just trying to engage him and be like, "Hello, friend."
Yeah, exactly. And if he just brushes me
so
off,
Stype, you stay. Yeah. So you step in the way. He does look down at you, literally look down at you in every sense, and kind of just try to shuffle sideways and be like, "Not interested in whatever garbage you're selling today." Skype. I don't think you see the bag is closed. It's kind of it's like this big. It smells of pastrami.
Okay, fine. It's probably just
really nice smell. He is heading east. He's heading. In fact, no, he's heading slightly north. He's heading slightly north from here, up. Kind of in this direction.
Actually,
if my ping works, which I cannot think my ping is working.
Actually, he might be taking food to captives, is what Stype is now thinking. How?
Phsphl is watching the interaction closely.
Stype is going to kind of once the guy stepped away, Stype might actually just walk over to Phsphl if he knows where he is and just not speak to him directly, but just say what he just thought. Like, that guy might be delivering food. Can you follow him?
Okay.
Yeah.
And Stype will stay at the warehouse for now.
Phsphl? Yeah. Phsphl, what are you doing?
I'd be happy to stalk the guy.
Like, write him weird letters. What is Phsphl's move silently?
30%.
Again, so yeah, like his hide and shadows. Nice.
Do you need to move silently? Can you? I mean, you're trying to remain unnoticed while following him through a city during the day, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's sunset, yeah. So yeah, you begin to track him, heading north. No, just give me a moment, and I'll. So you're heading north. I'm not going to get Phsphl's token. I'm just going to move the party token from it, if that's okay. You're heading up there to that junction where he turns east, and yeah, I'm assuming you're going to keep following him. So. Yeah. I assume, as he heads east that way.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, I mean, you are you're going slowly as you do this, because that's the condition of it. The guy's he's not running. Yeah, technically move silently takes you to a third of your normal, unless you have another skill. I think there are NWPs which are like that. But yeah, you're going fairly slowly, watching him, possibly just jostled by the crowd. Eventually, as he's heading along this road, kind of eastward, you lose him in the kind of bigger crowd around the Lesser Market and south of Giff Town, as he heads, seemingly continuing to go east along this northern road that you're on. So, okay. Essentially, yeah. Angle-wise towards there. So that's where you lose him.
Okay. Well, if I'm confident I've lost him, then I'll return to the warehouse.
Yeah. No, you can go to the warehouse. Where it is dark now.
I suppose Stype is still there.
Yeah, Stype's still there.
Yes, Stype's there. I guess everyone else. everyone else, I guess, is nearby, so I don't know if you've got a rendezvous planned for sundown or what.
I suppose we'd have worked out a place to
Stype
rendezvous.
doesn't see anything else happen.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what's our plan of attack, guys? Who do we see in front of the warehouse?
Everyone
What are the guards' positions?
Yeah, let me... So, I mean, you've had time to observe it, so I'll kind of give you that sort of as a freebie. You see one on the front, two on the roof.
Okay. So, I guess if our ranged guys could take out the roof ones, like it might be smart for our first attack to be a volley at the roof guys.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that up to the more military-minded people
So-
in the group.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what the major's advice is here, I guess, as the military leader.
Just trying to figure out if there's any way of taking them out quietly, and I'm thinking probably not. Well, or at least without shoot. I can't think of anything other than shooting them.
I mean, you...
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, the only option is you have a thief, so you literally have someone who can sneak, but I'm not suggesting that's what you do, I'm just saying your one option for stealth is you do have one guy who does that.
Yeah.
But I think as soon as one of the guards drops, the others are going to notice.
Yeah.
I mean, possibly if we volleyed the two guys on the roof from not the line of sight of the guy at the front, we might be able to take them out if we hit all of them at once.
Jay, could you roll an encounter check, please? Two, is that a 2?
Yeah, it's two.
2, yeah.
Cool. No, things are pretty quiet. Yeah, oh, Alex, could you roll a D100 for me?
Oh.
I forgot to get you to do this earlier. Everyone did at the start of the session, so...
Okay.
Including, I said not Phil, but then Phil did, because he has his malfunction check. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, so it's pretty quiet. You can probably get some vantage point to the kind of round the corner, as it were, of the warehouse, away from the front door, the front doors, plural, and yeah, get position so you've got sight on the guys on the roof. I guess that's probably possible.
Alright.
Okay.
By the way, Old Man Star has like put a wadge of leather on his peg leg, so it doesn't really bang. It's still, there's a bit of noise, but it's not like
Nice.
you hear the click. You just hear a very slight shuffle occasionally.
You have the silencer.
He'll be like, it's like being back in the. He'll be like, yeah, it's like being back in the stars. You look down at this kind of bent over, one-legged guy with like a oversized floppy hat and a too big leather hawbuck.
I like him.
So, shall we
yeah.
attempt
I mean,
the shooting then?
hey.
Or...
Open fire.
Yeah?
Yeah. For range, is that Phsphl, the Major, and Old Man Star? Oh,
yes,
and,
on my...
and Gil as well. Gil has a sling as well.
Yeah.
You're within 60, so check your ranges for potential penalties on those things. I will get the most I can help.
That would be medium range for me,
What is
which isn't great.
Yeah, I mean, it's your option. The heavy crossbow is like range 8, light crossbow range 6, so you're both fine, aren't you? And short bow, I think we said,
Yeah.
is 5. So it'd be medium range for Phsphl unless he wants to try to sneak closer, I guess.
Probably.
So you'd be at a penalty.
Probably happy to start there and hope for the best. Still recovering from the fight the other day slightly, so
Yeah.
So the next question is, are you all shooting at one, or are you going to split your shots?
Hmm.
Remember, medium range is at -2. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who's got? I mean, Gil's got a sling. What is everyone else packing? I'm just trying to figure out who's got the shortest range weapons. Because it might make sense for them to focus fire on the guy at the front or whatever, or the ones that are closer, basically.
I think
I
that's
think
medium range for
short
either
bow.
of them, so
I don't think anyone has a. Oh no, short bow is also 50. So
50.
50,
Yeah.
50 for short range.
Short bow and bullets, they're so 60 is medium range.
yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
the hand crossbow,
The
and
heavy
full
crossbow is
are-
longer range.
Longer. My heavy crossbow says 8, 16, 24, so I may have written something down wrong.
No,
That's 80 equals 80.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's alright then.
yeah.
I've only got an 8-foot range. That seems hard.
Yeah, that would be.
I wasn't sure what we were measuring in, to be honest. But yeah, that makes sense.
No, think of it as squares essentially. Like imagine they're not 5-foot squares, but 10-foot squares on a map or something. You'd be like, you can do this many.
Okay.
So-
Yep. There we go.
So
Yeah.
maybe we have one crossbow and one shorter range weapon on each guard, unless you want to just fire all four at one of the two and try and drop them.
That maybe makes sense.
Presumably we'll surprise them, right? Like they're not gonna see this coming, so we probably have a chance to reset if we take
Yeah,
out
I
one
mean,
of
that-
the targets.
That would be the ideal
Yeah.
scenario.
I mean, obviously, if they might notice if you shoot them, but yeah.
Well, I think they will, but you know,
It depends how well we shoot at them.
yeah. If we shoot them really well, they won't notice because they'll be dead. If we shoot them really badly, they won't notice because the projectiles will go so far away. It's the middle ground that's dangerous.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stype's just going to be ready with his scythe to, you know, deal with any
Charge?
incoming melee attackers and/or heal people if he needs to.
You're kind of guard. I guess you and Gil are guarding everyone else, aren't you? You and Gil are on kind of guard duty.
Me and Sparks, you mean?
suppose.
Gil's got a sling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gil Sparks is, yeah. That's right.
Here's an interesting question, actually. How exactly does healing work?
I can cast a healing spell, which takes a certain amount of time.
Would I have regained any hit points since our encounter with the sort of bandits that tried to rob us the other day?
I think you didn't fight. You didn't do anything particularly strenuous yesterday, did you? So I guess you would have gained 1. Is that right?
Could I?
You did light duty yesterday.
Could
You
I
weren't running around doing
retroactively
stuff,
say that
I would have-
Stype used his healing spell on the major?
at bedtime. Yeah, no, that's fair. I didn't give you the chance to. So yeah, roll your cure light wounds for yesterday, I guess.
That is. Do you happen to know the dice off the top of your head?
D8, isn't it?
That's 5e.
I think it's just D8. Yeah.
Just d8. Okay, let's have it.
No, I think it's straight D8. Yeah, no bonuses. I can check for you.
Well, I mean, if I get
It
one
is
just
just 1d8.
7.
1d8.
There you go. 7.
And you'll get 1 for heal for rest.
Seven.
So 7 plus 1. So you're at
yeah.
yeah.
I only needed a 2. I'm good.
Yeah. All right.
Low activity, nothing more strenuous than riding a horse or travelling from one place to another.
Yeah.
Physical activity, so stuff. If yesterday it wouldn't count for today because aside from any potential combat, you did go around attempting to smash down doors and stuff.
Yeah.
You wouldn't
Yeah,
natural heal today, for comparison.
That's a
because-
restful
which
day
I
for the
mean, yeah.
major.
Yeah, the major's like, man, I feel really under-exercised. This feels like a waste of my time.
I'm sure I'll get me lifting in soon.
Great. So, yes.
Open fire.
Who's firing at who? Let's go. Declare. There are 2 guys on the roof. Are you all firing at one target or splitting?
I think
fine
we
with it.
should split.
Yeah, I'll fire at lefty. Why not? Just declare that randomly.
I guess Guild, you want to also fire at lefty, and then the other two can do righty.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you going to use your special arrows, Phsphl?
Yeah. Seem impolite not to.
Yeah, this is their moment.
Don't you get 2 shots of a short bow?
Do you?
Well, not in what we're counting as a surprise round, but yes.
Right.
You're basically saying in a minute you can fire 2. We're talking about the fact you're taking a surprise round here to
Right.
people
So
not really knowing where you are.
yeah, it's just all firing at the same time. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Let's go.
Fire. Oh.
20s.
Nice.
Well.
Okay. That is an automatic hit. But as it doesn't matter what the AC is.
Yeah.
Natural 20 hit.
I'm going to assume they're medium.
They are.
Like-
No, they suddenly grow.
Yeah.
They're duergar. They use enlarge. They're enormous. Okay. The major hits on
Alright.
lefty. Gil, you're also firing at lefty.
Yeah. I've not set up a thing for this thing, so I'll just roll a d20.
We've got a d20. That's fine.
Yeah. That hits AC 4. That's pretty good.
That's pretty solid.
That is also going to hit. Do you want to roll your damage?
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, it'll be 84 because of your penalty. So, yeah.
Both max damage as well.
Well, this is going far better than.
I mean, he's
It
dead.
should.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you've got Phsphl and the Star to go, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy is very dead. I'm going to give the kill there to the major because it was simultaneous, and it does matter for him for XP. Okay.
Yeah.
So Phsphl, do you want to roll a d20?
So I could have
Or roll your
missile
macro if you have it.
attack adjustment +1. Does that come into it?
It should do.
So that'll be +1, and you're technically you're at -2, so you're at -1 excluding the arrows effect, which you don't know.
Okay.
Well, it had to happen.
Yeah, the arrow fangs. So yeah, you're saying it's going so much better than I thought it would, Alex. You need to not say that.
Yeah.
Mr. Star, Old Man Star, will fire his for 12, which is going to hit AC 8, which is enough. So let's just remind ourselves of light quarrel is 1d4 damage as he fires the guy. You hear, first of all, you hear a really quiet yeehaw from him as the bolt hits home. Ooh, 1. So we've got to find out how many hit points this guy has. This is something which doesn't massively matter if you know how many hit points they have, really. You could manipulate it, but I think I'll just roll it here for simplicity. The guy has 2 hit points. He is up. He shouts with a sound of extreme pain and annoyance as this thing hits him in the thigh, and the guy at the front door looks out and pulling out a hand crossbow and looking around. Okay, we're in
Are we
initiative.
at the side of the
second
building?
edition combat. You're kind of like towards the back of the building, with having got up onto a lower building that seemed abandoned.
Stype would like
You've got advantage.
Stype would like to kind of go to the edge of the building, so that if the guy comes around the corner, I can attack him. But not, in line of sight.
I'm assuming that is a combat round declaration. So that can be your next action. You can move toward the edge of the building. That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay,
with
Major,
ready
what are you
for
going to do on the next round?
I am going to reload and fire at the other guy on the roof, I suppose. And get the other one who's elevated.
It's a heavy crossbow. I was going to say, do you need to take a round load?
Yeah, heavy crossbow's rate of
Really
fire is
rough.
1 every
A
other.
heavy crossbow's
Oh, one every other round, is it? Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it was nice while it lasted. Let's charge in.
I mean, the
There's
Mage's
a guy
killed one
ground
guy
level.
today already, hasn't he? Yeah. So you and basically you and Stype are heading towards that side of the building, but Stype is waiting to ambush him, and the Major is waiting to presumably headbutt him or something.
Yes.
Gil, your declared action is?
I'll attack with a sling again.
Yeah. Sparks, what's your declared action?
Ox will hit his pocket boot. I straight the main at the faster speed.
So you're sorry, I missed the first half of that. You're going to click your boots and head forward at like along the ground.
Yeah, head
How
for
does
the that guard.
Yes, at the one on the floor, the one on the ground floor. Yeah, and Phsphl.
I'm going to try another short bow attack on the on the roof.
You have two bow shots, so yeah,
Cool.
you have 2 bow shots this round because of the rate of fire. Okay, Phsphl, do you want to roll initiative for your side? Beat my 3. Good roll for the bad guys.
So that's a D10, is it?
Yeah, D10 looking for lowest.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? I can actually set it
Dang.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let me just. Do you know what we'll do? We'll just, now that we're in turn order combat, I should actually set you up a little map.
It's a very dark night currently.
Should be Fog of War. Yeah, it is. I just need to get like some zoom on that. Okay. Oh, I've managed to, like, you know when you click the zoom 2 extra times or something than you mean to, because it's not reacting, and you're like, oh no. So let's reveal some map. This isn't kind of accurately revealing everything about the building, just to give you some sense of where you are. So give me a moment. Should give you the front door, and I'll give you that side wall as well.
Okay.
And what we've got is, let's just switch to moving some people, and I'll drop some baddies on there in a moment. Gil is, I guess, he's heading in. Gil is back here. Sparks is heading in this direction. The Major also heading in this direction. Stype heading in this direction.
I'm just gonna be
Phsphl
not
back here. Yeah, repair yourself. I'll use Flynn for star for now, just for simplicity's sake.
Okay.
And let's add some bad guys, and then it's going to be, their turn. If I can. Okay. Come on, roll 20. Play nice. Yeah. There's a guy there, and I'll put this guy to represent the guy on the roof. There we go. As in, he is above you, kind of staggering over. He will, therefore, stagger over towards you, shouting, and he will fire a light crossbow down at the biggest target, which is the Major. It's the tallest target. 17 hits AC 3. Major, I take it you have AC of worse than 3.
My AC is 6, sadly, currently, because I'm still holding the crossbow.
Yeah, and it's natural armor for the Giff, isn't it? Does you 2 damage as a bolt fires down and pings in. You probably barely notice it. It's a pinprick.
Okay.
Let's just check. And crossbow speed factor for a light crossbow is 7. So yeah, at this point, because you had a difference of 6, as he fires that, you guys are already moving in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
So the kind of close combat party are scurrying along because your movement would have been activated. You're heading toward that corner. This guy will appear at the corner and fire at Sparks, who I think AC 0 is it for Sparks? It doesn't matter. It's a natural 20.
Oh no.
You hear the guy who's running around you. You hear a bang, and he's like, "Thieves!" and then runs around the corner towards you. And he's only got a little hand crossbow. Sparks is probably pleased to discover, and he will roll 2 damage. It just hits the servo, and you can kind of feel the slight slowing up as it hits the servo, and then you shake off the bounces off onto the floor.
That's a 4, isn't it?
So, no, it's a D3. So that's
I
halving.
see.
Yeah. Okay, so slings sling is speed 6, so that's going to happen at 15. So it doesn't really matter beyond this. Okay, so I think it's going to be the short bow first. Then, first of all, your first shot will be the first thing your team do.
Okay.
Then it'll be the sling. Then it'll be the light crossbow. Then it'll be Phsphl again. Basically, you're all targeting the guy on the roof. So
Yeah.
Sparks does not malfunction, alas.
Ooh.
Every time Sparks is hit, this is because he's a monster Autognome. He's not a PC class or anything. So that's going to be. He's come closer, so that's going to be AC 6 you hit, isn't it? Are you using a special arrow or?
Yes.
Yep. You hit him. Roll your damage, if you like.
So is that is for the damage the same as a regular flight arrow? Yeah.
Yes. Flight arrow is what you use for short bows, yeah. So it's 1d6. Yeah. That means Gil, yeah, that guy is dead.
Nice.
Okay, so that means Gil and Star don't have shots. Phsphl doesn't have a second shot either because you're targeting the thing you're looking at. You can't really see this guy over here, who I think is about to have an incredibly bad time. Feels like to me. It seems statistically incredibly likely because of who is attacking him. Not you. To be fair, Stype has killed someone in the campaign. He killed a Yakuza, but I feel like this is not going to be a Stype-led necessarily. Okay, so the first, in that case, Sparks and the Major all attack at the same initiative, which is initiative 3, i.e. speed 3 for natural weapons. Go for it.
Is that Stype as well? Sorry.
No, Stype has a scythe, so
Sorry,
it's going much slower,
Go ahead, yeah.
isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, what's the scythe speed? I think we. Yeah. But yeah, so Sparks, Major, take your natural weapon attacks. Yeah, Sparks will do his second attack after. So those are both quite bad rolls. I don't know if you know that.
AC of 17 or worse. Oh my god.
He shot me in the leg, my charge got thrown off.
Well, I guess we're about to find out if this is going to be a Stype-led attack.
Yeah. Stipe's like, I really don't like killing things, Chop.
Phil, does Sparks get a second attack?
Yeah, he was.
After Stype does.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
after
I
Stype,
rolled,
okay,
I
that's
rolled
how
a
it works.
9, so...
AC 11. Okay, Sparks, can you redeem this complete farce? That is much
Probably.
better.
That'll do it.
Roll your damage. Yep, you crunch into the guy as he comes around. He fires his hand crossbow at Stype. Not at Stype, sorry, at Sparks. And then the next thing is Sparks kind of barreling into him as the others attempt to grab him. Sparks already driving him back. The guy has D6 hit points. It doesn't matter. Sparks just rolls over this guy, fist first, smashing him to the ground. I think you're going to struggle to take prisoners in this.
I think we're committed now. We don't need prisoners.
I wasn't planning on taking prisoners.
Sparks has a kind of old-fashioned sense of morality about people who kidnap children, or allegedly do.
Sparks is instant
So
kill.
what next? I mean, you're out of initiative.
Well, we need to get in the
that
door,
is the
surely.
front door there.
Yeah, straight through the front door.
Right there.
Let's group
Okay,
up first.
is
though.
initiative just everyone running round?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I'm thinking it's going to take... what are Phsphl and Gill's speeds? I mean, I would say Star is pretty slow.
6.
In fact, 6. So yeah, you're going to be moving 12 squares of dash. It's going to take a couple of minutes to all get to the front. So it depends if that group at the front want to wait 2 rounds.
I have something I can be doing in the interim.
Like reloading your crossbow and all that.
That
Which
wasn't my-
consists of...
That's something I can do. But does anyone have any matches?
I'm capable of that.
Oh yeah, that is a great shout, Major. That is a great shout.
I'm gonna open
Forget
the
the
door.
front door. Let's blow a hole in the wall. So let's.
I'm sure on Sparks' multi-tool he's got some kind of firelight there.
Should we just blow the corner off this
he probably
building?
ha-
Maybe
probably-
we
probably
retreat to
tinder,
the others.
Like a,
Yeah, I'm going to start setting up the breaching charges
so
now.
is the Major spending a couple of rounds setting... Yeah, so the Major's spending his time setting a breaching charge. Whilst, I guess... Old Man Star, by the way, will probably suggest that he stay on Overwatch given his speed is like 4.
Yeah, that's fine.
Does anyone know what the minimum safe
As in,
distance is on this?
he's not unwilling. I mean, it might be more than 10 feet, but I'm going to set you at 10 feet for now. If that's okay by you.
Yeah, it's fair.
Is there anything that Stype can crouch behind? I mean, he'll
Mate.
crouch behind the Major if need be.
Yeah,
The
the
Major.
The Major and Sparks, you have like... Yeah. The Major and Sparks are pretty burly and tough, so... okay, yeah, they catch up. And I guess you have a trail of powder out to where you are, Major?
Yeah. Would you like to do the honors, Sparks?
Absolutely. So Sparks will.
Sparks, do you want to roll a d20? As your kind of flint auto clicks. Yep, the powder takes, and it flows along and blows a hole in the wooden side of the building. During this time, no one else has come out. This does help, I guess, with the lighting situation because there's not loads. There's a bit of ambient light, but I don't know if anyone has
Stype has
torchlight. It's
infravision.
darker in there. You can see. Yeah, I don't think anyone else has infravision, do they?
I have infravision.
Does Lizardman have infravision? Yeah. So you two are fine. You can see. I'd say there is quite a lot of smoke at the moment, so you're not necessarily seeing an enormous amount of. Okay, let me just check one thing. Okay, so yeah, you don't see as the smoke clears, you don't see anyone in there. In the section that has been exposed. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to take a moment to switch out my crossbow for my shield. This feels like it's going to be close quarters.
Sparks would probably.
Yeah.
Do either of
Sorry,
you
what Sparks
want to
doing?
heal before you go in?
I'm good.
I'll live.
All right.
I'm happy to kind of get into the entrance that we just blasted up.
Let's do it.
And
Into
see
the
what I
breach.
see.
Yeah. Yeah. You barrel your way in, and you see like silk bales and cotton bales smashed apart, blown away next to the breach. You see beyond that, you do see a layer of dust, though you're not sure whether that's very, very, very recent. A crossbow twangs and misses Sparks. As you charge in, there is a hostile somewhere.
Can we see any more now that we're inside?
Can you see any more inside? Yes, you can. I need to reveal some areas. I've kind of just put you there. You can obviously, if you want to move yourself, you can within that rough area.
I do not have the permission. But yeah, Stype is fine where it is, kind of behind the
yeah.
Alex just quietly sliding into cover.
Yeah. Phsphl, you happy where you are? You moved in there? What's there?
I don't appear to have the ability to select the.
I just thought I'd been set. Where do you want him? Where do you want Phsphl? Front or back?
Rear, I think he's going to be focusing on ranged attacks.
Yeah. Yep. So that is what you can see as you come around the corner. Declare actions for round whatever it is, 5 of combat. What are your actions?
Do we have any idea which direction the crossbow bolt came from?
Well, not from in front of you, from somewhere further into the building.
Is it that we can't see because it's dark, or
Yeah, it is dark in here.
then I think it's probably worth me using my action to light a torch. Or
Have
try
you
and-
got a...
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Phsphl, what's your action?
Um, I'm gonna let off some arrows in the approximate direction. I think that bolt came from.
In the last special arrow or just normal arrows?
Just normal arrows. I'm gonna switch to.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Take my action.
And Sparks? What would
I'm
you
going to
actually
take my action, light my lantern, and pour it in front of us. Hopefully, light a large bit of the room.
Yeah. Gil, are you still wanting to light a torch?
Yeah.
Right. Major?
I'm going to sort of fan off in this direction just to try and leave a clear line of fire between where we presume this guy is and
Yeah.
the rest of the party, especially Sparks.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
certain things I don't
And
know.
Stype, what are you doing?
Do we know the name of Old Man Star's boy?
Jackson.
Stype is going to yell, Jackson! And otherwise just be ready based
Okay,
on what you can see.
Yeah.
The child is now thoroughly terrified
Sparks,
if we
you
blew up the
gonna roll
wall.
a D10 for initiative? Beat my 4, Phil.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. 1 is
That
good.
is the way to beat a 4. So yeah, Gil and Sparks will get their their torches lit and so on. Yes, and I guess the Major will start moving. That's what's going to happen there. As in, those are going to be the quickest actions. I mean, so
Yeah.
I'll give the Major obviously gets to see extra stuff from that, and there is now a lot more light, which helps the Major certainly.
Yeah.
You can see sort of as you jog across, you can see like that. Sparks is moving that way too. Yeah, that's fine. Phsphl, I guess you are. I'll assume you're moving forward enough to see that. You are quicker, so I guess you can fire a d20. Hope for the best on a target. 11. That's not going to hit anything. Just flies into one of the bales of material or whatever they are.
Okay.
And a crossbow will fly back out, I think, at the Major, given the Major very loudly started charging across the room. I feel like that's reasonable.
Yes, take 3 again.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll help.
So...
Now, if we triangulate where the crossbow wounds on my body are...
3 more damage.
Okay.
I mean, it's coming from your right, Major, from this block here. I guess, yes. Sorry, Phsphl, do you want to take another shot? I guess roughly where you've seen that come from. Yeah, that hits another bale. Okay, next round. What's happening?
Stype, I think, is going to run forward and try and heal the Major.
Yes, please do.
Yep. Phsphl?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to move forward just to try and get a better, visual on
Better
the
look.
sky.
Yep, that's fine. Go for it. Gil, what are you doing?
I think I'll move forward. Maybe see if anyone comes into view, and then maybe sling a stone at them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So essentially, you'll fire on any opportunity.
Yeah.
Major Sparks.
Well,
We just move with like the lanterns giving a light as it can. Also, I'll just move directly forward and anything in there, hit an attack.
To
that full-
the right on the map or up?
Right, sorry.
So like towards that. Yep, that's fine. And the Major.
I'll follow Sparks, but I don't want to get too far ahead, just so Stype can still reach me. So I'll,
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, Gil, roll initiative. I will roll for my guy.
Ooh.
Beat my 3. Nope.
No.
Okay, so he's got a crossbow, it probably helps you. Okay, so the Major and Sparks will start moving forward, as will Phsphl. And Stype will run over. Stype, you probably have the first action actually, because you got the quickest speed. You move and then you heal. So roll a d8.
1. Sorry, Major.
it'll do.
Yeah, I mean it's something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just check one or two, a weapon speed or 2, and then we're good to go again. Short bows on a 7. So yeah, there'll be a crossbow bolt probably at Sparks, because Sparks is now seemingly approaching the position. hits AC 1, which is not enough, is it? I think you're AC 0.
Miss.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
AC 0.
Yeah, Spark starts shouting something about AC 0 at him as he charges in. But yeah, so Phsphl and Gil, you have a bead on a target who has popped out to fire. You're both now moving into position to see, so you both have a much less obstructed view. I think it is the sling first. So and then it's going to be Gil and then Phsphl's first shot, I think.
Cool.
Wow,
That's special.
that's
That's quite bad.
That's
quite
pretty
bad, but-
amazing.
Phsphl, you still have one good arrow left, I think, one special arrow. Are you using that one or?
No, I'm just on my regular ones for now.
Yep, go for it. Fire. Yeah, so you hit that guy.
the dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, roll your damage. Roll D4. I think it is.
It's D6, I believe.
What are you shooting?
Is it D? Oh, on short bow. Yes, it is. Yeah, I was thinking about crossbows. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
No, roll your D6. You're quite right. Yeah, the guy falls to the floor with an arrow in his leg, shouting. I guess. I mean, hey, Phsphl, you have another shot if you want.
Yeah, let's do it.
Finish him.
No.
Phsphl, you see some, you see text arrive and then like fade away. Yeah, yeah, that was a miss. I guess Major and Sparks, you didn't actually have a target, so yeah, we're just on the next round. Actions.
Can
I will
Major and
just,
Sparks
reveal
not see
areas
what's
now.
in front of them? Sorry.
Yeah.
They can, yeah. Sorry, I was just about to reveal it. There
Yep.
we go.
Well,
There he is.
my plan is to just sort of vault over the box and just knee drop onto him at this point.
Flying knee drop. Cool. Sparks.
Yeah, I think I'm going to follow in the Major's footsteps there and hover over and then drop a flying elbow drop on him.
Apparently,
I think that's some chairs on the back.
the
Yeah,
early
yeah.
90s
Give him a
WWF has
chair.
arrived. Yeah. Cool. And everyone else?
Stype is probably gonna just move up a bit, and just try and get more of a view on what's going. Because I've got infravision, so I just want to get more of a view on what's going on in this warehouse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
In
Yep,
fact,
Gil?
Stipe's going to do that and light a torch so that everyone else can see as well.
Yeah.
Hey
That's
guys,
fine.
wouldn't it
Oh,
be
there are
hilarious
two
if
torches already
everyone
lit.
was-
There's a lantern and a torch.
Yeah, I know there's two torches already lit, but like if I go around the corner and the others can't see what's around there because the
Yeah.
torch is not
Yeah, yeah, no, fair
illuminating
enough.
that bit, if I'm holding it, they can see as well.
Okay, Gil and Phsphl, are you firing or are you moving?
Yeah, I think I am.
Yeah, I'll fire as well.
Yep.
This poor guy. He's got 1 HP left. He's going to be a powder by the end of this.
Arrow's cheap, you know.
Andrew, Major, roll your D10. Roll your initiative.
Okay.
Beat my 8. This guy, he's in pain. He's like, why'd you get out of here? You don't know who you're messing with.
Thinking
As the
about
Major
the-
on initiative 5 leaps over. So Major and Sparks, you attack on the same initiative because you're both natural weapons. Go for it.
Yeah.
D20s each, please.
Oh, I've got to open the thing, haven't I?
He's saying this. You don't know who you're messing with, as as you both like a Devon and Dudley.
Like we
Don't
care who
over.
wouldn't.
Oh, -4. Oh my god.
I'd have been happy with my 4, but
Oh dear. This poor fella.
Well,
So
That's quite something.
Oh.
Yes, you both hit him.
that's
Oh,
Sorry, 12 damage.
You do maximum 22 damage. You do maximum damage, 22 damage on this guy. There is a fine paste on the floor as this happens. Like it's actually Stype. As you come up behind them, you're protected from having to like make a sanity check as you come round.
Yeah.
By the fact they are on top of the frankly disgusting remains of this guard.
Stype vomits a little bit in his mouth, but controls himself.
Any other movement from anyone? Stype was just coming around me, so Stype can. Are you just going around to like, I don't know, here?
I was going to go
What are you
up, like up and to the right was my plan.
Yep. I guess yeah. Do Phsphl or Gil want to move instead of? You can change your action to move. That's the one thing you can change your action to do, basically.
Yeah.
I head over.
Might as well.
Join the group.
Hide behind the major again.
I'm not sure how I feel about being mobile cover.
Yep.
Well, it's just natural to follow your fearless leader, isn't it?
Sound tactics at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I assume you're all moving forward on the next round, as in you're just heading east, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that seems to be where the depth of the warehouse is.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I will move Sparks forward, and I will reveal this corner, as in this representing you all coming around, given that obviously Stype, you'll come across the top, and then you'll see the rest of them heading along the bottom, I assume, is what's going to happen. Okay, so Stype sees an open door to the south and a shut door to the north. There is a ladder next to him. The door to the south is open, and what we will see as he looks in and everyone else catches up is that there is a fireplace, there's a desk, there's a table and chairs, and there is a trap door. There is also a piece of paper on the desk, which looks like it's been almost like it's just dropped just on the next to the desk on the floor as well. And that, I guess, is where we'll leave it tonight.
Cool.
Okay.
Well done, gents.
Yeah, as you find a seemingly abandoned office of some kind with a trapdoor and some dropped paperwork. Yeah.
I think that went pretty well.
Probably you also hear, I expect out now, you will also hear a man start running towards you and saying, I think we've got company, as he comes up to the breach.
Lol.
They're wearing uniforms.
Oh. Right, that company.
I mean,
Actual company.
you set off a bomb, Major.
Cool. Okay.
Well, I'm not saying it's not reasonable. You know,
Okay.
good
Well,
response.
we will be back in. Yeah, you're like, I never expected the police to be this good. Yeah, we will leave it there, and we will find out what happens in a couple of weeks' time, as potentially with police close on it, or magistrates watch close on your tail, having found an abandoned office with a trap door. We will leave it there. Any final thoughts from anyone? Anything you want to say?
I really hope we weren't supposed to interrogate that guy.
Yeah.
No, I think that went fine.
Yeah.
No.
That was great. Great. Great work, everyone. Thank you.
Closing
Okay,
remarks
then.
would be major. Get the
Good
tables.
night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you next time, everyone.
Bye.
I'm waving with the wrong